Hi again, everybody from Vintage Iron Range Dirt Track Racing. I am here today with Kelly Lake, Minnesota's living legend, Bobby Gherardi, also known as Bobby G to most people. Good morning, Bobby. It's nice to have you with us today.
Thank you for having me.
How have you been doing?
I've been doing good.
Great. It's nice to see you.
Nice to see you also.
Bob, we got a few questions we're going to try to get done here, and maybe a three-part questionnaire. First question I'd like to know is what got you interested in racing in the first place?
A friend of mine named Shaddy Rusich, he doesn't know it, but he's the one that wanted it, and I actually told him he's crazy. We didn't have no tools, we had nothing, but anyway, make a long story short, then Jimmy Hart and I met in the grandstand. There was about 200 people. He said, how would you like to be doing this? So we give that a try, and we got started. Jimmy Hart got me going, and away we went with the hobby stock.
So you had a couple buddies that kind of got you into it, and away you went.
Yeah.
Okay. When did you start racing?
I think it was 64.
64. And how did you get your start? Did you find an old car and fix it up, or did somebody build a car for you? Or?
Jimmy Hart and I had to go steel pipe around, and we made our first roll cage, and we had a guy out in DuPont Road weld the cage in for us. 41 Ford Coupe.
Nice. Okay, that was your first car, 41 Ford Coupe.
Yes.
Okay. What all different classes did you race throughout the years?
Hobby class, that was with the Flathead Fords. And then we raced a sportsman class. That was a 39 Ford Coupe. That was with 3 deuces on it. And then we raced a couple years in a modified class. We sat on top of the rear end in sedan type of car, Model 8 type of car to get narrowed and chopped, and sat in the rear end.
Then I'm assuming you graduated to super stocks
Well,
and then late models.
We went to super stocks. Then we had with about 11 or 12 year run with the late model was all we had.
Okay.
I wasn't as long racing as I'd like to have been.
I don't think anybody's been racing as long as they'd like
No.
to. When you were young, was there anybody in particular that you liked to watch race?
Absolutely. Billy Nelson.
Billy Nelson. He was one of my guys too when I was young.
You know, Billy Nelson, to me, could fill a grandstand. Nesbitt, Billy Nelson, and a guy named Mueller. I forget his first name right now.
Harold?
Harold Mueller. There you go.
Okay.
Them 3 people, I've never seen nobody fill a grandstand like them people.
And you need people like that for a racing program.
They were excited.
Yeah. How did you pick your number? Number 4 was your number for most of your years of racing. How did you come up with that number?
I think Bobby Orr and another guy was up from Grand Forks was Donnie Mack drove a sprint car.
Okay. Why were most of your cars yellow?
I wanted something bright and different.
Something bright and different, okay. I know toward the end of your career in late models, you changed to a black number 0.
That wasn't a late model. That was a super stock.
Okay. Well,
410 cubic. I'll tell you what. That's probably the best class I ever raced financially and work-wise in my life.
Why did you change to black, and why did you change your number?
Well, we came on the late model. It was just the dry sumps were coming. It was just getting too expensive for us,
Okay.
and too much work. I mean, we were carrying a lunch pail now.
Yep.
Okay, so we started a class, 410 cubic inch 2-barrel flat type of cam was perfect for us. And anyway, the color and the numbers, the question you asked me, we were going to go back into a class that we weren't in. So I said, I'm not taking nobody's color and I'm not taking nobody's number.
Okay. Is there anybody that helped you throughout the years in your racing career, such as sponsors, car owners, pitmen, or such?
Every class I raced, I had help. And I thank every single one of them. It started out with Jimmy Hart, Shaddy Holman. Shaddy Holman, very intelligent engine builder, I can tell you that. Very, very sharp. Augie Musis, John Tronis, Jojo Terzic spawned. He didn't sponsor as big as everybody think, but everything he gave me was so appreciative.
Well, every little bit helps.
Every little
That's
bit
for
helps.
sure. Okay.
And then the best partner I had, well, we were mature by now. I mean, we were learning. Was Gary Monroe.
Okay. Gary was like your main wrench, right?
Yes.
I have a lot of respect for Gary and his fabrication abilities.
Yeah.
I'm assuming your wife was very supportive of your racing career.
Yeah. More so than anybody.
You were very lucky in that
I
regard.
was a very lucky human being.
What is your best memory or your proudest achievement as a racer?
Well, I don't know. To me, it was all fun. I mean, I just liked the challenge. It was fun, and to answer that, we had a few, and maybe the 3-track champions.
In a single season?
Yeah,
Okay.
We had 3 of them. That was, probably more. Winning Thunder Bay for me, winning Ashland Invitational, winning Hibbing Invitational. It was fun. The Proctor had an invitation. We won one of them, but it was all in a Superstar. Some were in a late model, and Thunder Bay, but they were 2 mixed classes.
See, when you go back to that time where there was that super stack that looked just like a late model almost,
Right.
I was pretty young back then, and I kind of muddy the water. I can't tell the difference between those old supers and the late models at the time. They all kind of looked alike. But, so if you could go back in time, what year or season would you go back to? Like, what was your favorite year of racing?
Being very comfortable. The last years I raced the late model, which would have been like 77, 78. But the super with the 410 cubic inch was more comfortable work-wise and financially.
And roughly what year was that?
I'm going to say the 80, what was it, 81, 82, 83, 84, something in that area.
Okay. All right, Bob. Well, that concludes part 1 of this interview, and we will see you in part 2.